These are the top 3 things I recommend you look out for when it comes to hiring a lead gen agency with real integrity. The reason I'm making this video is because you probably get several emails and DMs every single day from lead gen agency owners who are promising you all of these leads in this short amount of time and it's all going to be great and just give them your money. However, it can be hard to know who is legit and who is just going to take your money and underdeliver. So as a lead gen agency owner myself, I want to give you my recommendation of the top 3 things that I would look out for in your shoes so that you can work with someone who's going to treat your business with the integrity that it deserves and get you the results that you're after. So the first thing I recommend you look out for is great communication from your lead gen agency. This starts with clear expectation setting from the very beginning. You want to see them giving you a realistic expectation of the amount of calls they can book you every single month. That's number 1, right? So what I've seen from interacting with hundreds of lead gen agencies and seeing the results they get, between 3 on the low end to 20 on the high end calls per month is a realistic number. If you're talking to a lead gen agency who says they can get you 50 calls a month, I would say that's immediately a red flag unless they, one, have a whole dedicated team that's just working with you. If they're sending 100,000 emails for you per month and you have a giant target market, then these numbers are possible. However, most agencies are not doing those numbers because they're smaller operations. You're not paying them tens of thousands of dollars a month. So you have to understand that you also get what you pay for. If you're paying an agency on performance and you're paying them, say, a couple $100s per call, or you're paying them a fairly low monthly retainer of, say, like $2,000 a month, don't expect to be getting 40 calls a month. You can probably expect to realistically see between 7 and 15 calls per month with qualified prospects. It's also important to note that the timeline of the results, to get those, say, 7 to 15 calls a month, it could take 3 or 4 months to get there. We had a client, for example, the first couple months we worked with them, we were booking them maybe 3 to 5 calls a month, and then all of a sudden, month 2, month 3, boom, we hit 12 calls a month. And so we just had to find that right offer formulation and go through that testing period to get the results. And you also want to see all of these expectations laid out in clear black and white in a service agreement, because there's a lot of room for gray area when it comes to working with a lead gen agency. They may say you only pay for qualified booked calls. Well, you got to define what qualified means, and you want to have that in a pre-agreed upon service agreement where you don't run into any arguments or bad blood with the agency that you're working with. Keep everything smooth. Make sure your agency has a service agreement. The second part of communication is frequent updates and reporting. So that starts with great reporting of KPIs. And the essential KPI to look at here is email to lead ratio. You want to see your agency relate to you how many emails they're sending per month, and you want to see how many calls are you booking from those emails. So, for example, in our agency, the KPI we look at is we want to see at least 1 booked call for every 1,000 to 1,200 emails sent. If we can get better than that, fantastic. If it's a little worse than that, it's still okay. But if it starts to get into like 1 call every 2,000 or say like 2,500 emails, then it's like, okay, it's time to optimize something. And you want your lead gen agency to be transparent about what's working and what's not working. You want to see them be able to analyze, okay, this is working and this is why. Because then if they know why it's working, then they can actually double down on it effectively. And if they know what's not working, then they can at least iterate and be hands-on and strategic about what's not working and relay that information to you so you're in the loop. You just really want to see that they're hands-on, they're being engaged, and they know why something is working or not working and how to adjust accordingly. So now let's look at performance tracking. What you want to see with your lead gen agency is that they ask you to be part of your CRM. It's really important to know that the money is in the follow-up. So a lead gen agency needs to be in the know of where your prospects are at in their conversion journey. And if they ask you to be part of your CRM, they want to be actively involved in the process of taking a cold lead and making them a paying client. That's a green flag. And at the very least, if you don't have a CRM and your agency doesn't use a dedicated CRM, you at least want to see some kind of mechanism to have a shared lead tracking system. For example, with some of our clients, we use Google Sheets where we have the data of, say, the name of the person, the company they work at, their email, their industry, what campaign they came from, and the status of the lead. So are they a dead lead? Are they in the proposal stage? Are they in the call booked stage? Are they in needs follow-up stage? We just want to have insight so that we can follow up effectively and have a dialed up follow-up process where we have email sequences that we know we can send out when people are not showing up to meetings that they were supposed to, or you had a great meeting with them but you never heard back. The money's in the follow-up, and you want to see a lead gen agency that has a dialed in process for turning that on the fence prospect into a paying client. So the third step here is you want a lead gen agency that will challenge and consult you. You do not want a yes man lead gen agency, because that probably means that they don't know what they're doing. You want a lead gen agency that can consult you on what a good offer is and how to formulate that offer in writing. So, for example, I'll consult you a little bit right now on, a good offer has a quantitative value proposition, concrete time frame, shows social proof, and has a risk reversal. So what that could look like is, hey, Mr. Prospect, we can get you an additional $50,000 per month in monthly recurring revenue in 90 days. And we did this for X company who's very similar to you. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay. Right? That was kind of a clunky formulation, but that shows you the 4 elements of a really great offer. Most of you have offers that sound something like, hey, Mr. Prospect, great news. We just launched our new marketing method, which is created to serve you and make your team happy by increasing your revenue and increasing your brand awareness. And you effectively said nothing while scaring them away because you sounded very salesy, and you didn't give any quantitative information about what transformation they're going to receive. And you sounded like a walking billboard. And that's why you need a lead gen agency who can really consult you on, hey, listen, this is how to formulate an offer that works to convert a cold prospect into a paying client. These are the elements you need. You don't always need all 4 of these elements, but as many of them as you can have, the better. And you want them to show you how to formulate that in a short, conversational, non-salesy way. You'd be amazed by how many people think they're sending out good copy, but they're sending out about 7 paragraphs of an email that's talking all about them and all about their great new system and how it's going to increase your revenue, and they don't give any quantitative value prop, and they don't tell you how long it's going to take, and they don't give you any social proof, and they don't give you a guarantee, and it's just a hot mess of words that I want to just crush up and throw into a trash can, because you sound like a walking billboard, and no one likes to be sold to. No one likes to be sold to. People like to have their problems solved by people who can talk to them in an authentic way. And so that's why the copy that we use is short, conversational, and non-salesy. You also want your lead gen agency to advise you on how to create great lead magnets, because the people you're reaching out to may not always be receptive to just a direct call to action like, hey, this is my offer, can we jump on a call? They might need a little bit more warming up by doing something like, one of my clients, for example, does outsourced cold calling for IT companies. And one of the things that we're working on together is putting together a lead magnet that gives prospects a couple audio files that shows examples of how his agency cold called cold prospects and turn them into booked meetings for their client. And so if you can give someone value up front that's relevant. That's like, hey, this is my offer. We did this exact thing for this other company that's just like yours. Do you mind if I send you a couple cold calls that we did that turned prospects that you would also be interested in having as clients into paying clients? Would you be interested in seeing that? That kind of lead magnet can really increase reply rates, and you want people to work with you to create that kind of free value so that you can get more conversations going and ultimately book more meetings and ultimately close more deals. And then the last part that I highly recommend is you want to see a lead gen agency that will help you set up pre-call flows. What this is text and emails that happen before a call, where say I book you a call with the CEO of Google, and before that call happens, the CEO of Google is a busy guy, so he's probably got to be reminded a couple times of the meeting with you. And we do that by sending several emails. Say 48 hours before the call, he would get an email that says, hey, just so you know, our call is in 2 days. I just wanted to send you this case study because we recently helped this company very similar to yours get this result. And just thought you might be interested in, take a look at this because you'll get a good sense of what it's like to work with us and the results that you can expect. So he clicks on it. Suddenly he watches the case study. He sees you on screen. He builds rapport. There's a sense of him seeing you now as an authority, as an expert in the field. And you're effectively selling him before he even gets on the call. And then maybe 24 hours before the call, it's like, hey, here's another piece of value. Here's a video I made on how to solve this other pain point that I know you have. Now he's like, really, okay, this person really knows what they're talking about. They did this for this other person and they're solving this pain point. And you can send them like 6 emails like this leading up to the call, essentially selling the prospect before they even get on the call. And you can't imagine how different this will make your sales process. Like imagine you probably normally get on calls and people are like, so, okay, like how much does it cost what you're doing? And what exactly do you do again? It sounds interesting from your email, but I wasn't really sure. Then you got to explain your whole spiel every single time. Compare that to someone gets on the call and they're like, hey, I saw your case studies. I saw the videos you sent over. You really seem like you know what you're doing. We've actually been looking for someone to do this exact service that I know you are going to offer me. And I just really liked what you had to say. And I have a few more quick questions here, but this seems like something we really want to do. And you might be the right guy to go forward. Like, wow, what a revelation. This person is now this close to buying from you before you even said a word to them on a call. So that's the kind of thing you want to see your lead gen agency help you implement, because then suddenly they're more than just a lead gen agency. They're someone who's actually empowering your sales process and increasing your close rate. So this is what I recommend you look out for. Let's go through it one more time. Just headlines. You want to see great communication, clear expectation setting, frequent updates and reports, weekly KPIs. You want to see performance tracking with robust follow-up sequences with CRM integration and or a shared lead tracker to track the status of every lead who comes through your funnel. You want to have someone who's going to challenge and consult you and help you be a better business person, create a more robust business, and help increase conversion with all of the great things that we talked about here. So this is what I would recommend you look out for. If you want to speak directly with me to talk about whether my agency would be a good fit to work with you, you can book a call at the link below. I'd be happy to have a conversation. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.